The insanity never ends, my friends. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We got tons of stuff as usual. We got Hollywood this time with the movie The Odyssey. You remember Achilles was played by Brad Pitt some years ago. Pretty awesome, epic scene. You might have remembered this scene right here. Check this one out. This might look a little familiar. Let's pull this up and play this. I'm going to show you what's going on, my friends. You ain't going to believe who's going to be replacing him in the newest version. Check this out. That is a crazy scene. I remember that one. Reminds me of David and Goliath. Just an epic scene. Of course, a lot of people are not aware. Achilles is literally, I think he would be like 11, 12 foot tall. If you actually read the myth, the story, the original historical story, he's tall. He's not short. But guess who's going to be replacing Brad Pitt in the latest version of Achilles? It's Elliot Page, who was once a woman and is now a man, and a very small man indeed. Going to be replacing Achilles to apparently fight some massive dude that's like 6'9" or something, right? Okay. Does this make any sense whatsoever? Of course, we're going to get into a ton of stuff, not just this, but we got a lot of other insanity as well. I just thought this was so hilarious. Everyone's talking about this right now. Backlash hits rumors of Elliot Page's Achilles in Nolan's Odyssey. This will totally destroy his career if he does this. The butt of jokes forever in IGN updates. May 7th speculated that Page and Ningo, both confirmed as cast of Nolan's July 17, 2026 adaptation of Homer's Odyssey, might play Achilles and Helen. Helen of Troy, literally, apparently a black woman now. And Achilles is a female turned male. In the original story of Achilles, he was about 12 cubits tall, according to Philostratus, 12 cubits tall, which is approximately, I guess, 16 to 18 feet. I saw one other historian say he was 11 cubits tall, if I remember correctly. Now, of course, what they do today is they try to change it. Oh, well, obviously he wasn't 16 foot tall. They must have been exaggerating, and he was really only 6 foot tall. They do this because they don't believe in giants. They don't believe in the Nephilim, which clearly existed. We have 100+ year war of Rome with giants in the history books. We have numerous historical evidences of giants. You can even pull up these ancient historical books from the conquistadors who went into South America, talking about seeing skulls where they would stick their sword through the eye socket and it would go all the way to the back of the skull before their hand would be in the eye socket. So there's like tons of these stories all throughout history books. But of course, today we believe in evolution. And of course, all that stuff in the history books must be lies. There were no such thing as dragons. There was no such thing as giants, even though literally everyone wrote about them. Of course they weren't. We're scientists. We know what happened 5 billion years ago, 5 million years ago. I'm being sarcastic, of course. It's hilarious to watch this, the history books being completely ignored, and they just make up something and they call it science and claim that they have scientific evidence of it. I just find it hilarious. I'm not trying to get into that whole thing there in that segue. The point is that in the Greek myth, he was extremely tall. Okay. And actually, I'll show you some historical evidence in a second, not for Achilles, but for one of his comrades, where they actually discovered his remains a couple thousand years later. And it literally, when they re-exhumed it, it was the exact length that they said in the history books. I'll show you that in a minute. Some of you may be wondering, what would Brad Pitt say about all of this? And interestingly, we don't have an official confirmation that Elliot Page is playing Achilles, although I'm going to show you proof that it's very, 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 very likely, 90+% likely. But we don't have an official confirmation yet. So perhaps that's maybe why Brad Pitt has not said anything. But there's also the other factor. He wants to have more time with his own children, and he has to deal with Angelina Jolie, who is a very much leftist and all on the rainbow train. So he doesn't want to say something that maybe looked or viewed as bad in public, perhaps on this topic, I'm guessing, because he wants to be able to see his own children, which he's having trouble doing at this time. But we do have an interesting thing here. So in this post, we see in the community notes, Elliot Page has been cast in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, but there's no official confirmation that the role is Achilles, although you do have some interesting things that point that it very much has to be that. Because if you go look at some of the statements and some of the scenes where Elliot Page has already been shown, the ghost of Achilles. This is currently the most prominent theory in the trailer. Page is seen shrouded in darkness with mud on his face, asking Odysseus, played by Matt Damon, "Who's looking after your wife and son?" This matches a key scene in the original epic where Odysseus encounters Achilles' regretful spirit in the underworld. So that would almost guarantee that Elliot is playing Achilles, at least in dead form. Hermes, some earlier reports and rumors suggested Page might play Hermes, the Olympian messenger god. This role is seen to fit for Page's intelligent screen presence, the character of traditional depiction as quick thinking, witty guide who moves between worlds. But it looks like it might be Achilles, like everyone's saying, based on the trailer itself. And I'm thinking Brad Pitt would almost 100% think this is an insane thing that's happening. But will he voice it? We'll see in due time. But the fact is, we have here Elliot Page, who's probably, I don't even know how tall he or she is. I'm going to guess 5'5", 5'6", I don't know. Going to be playing a guy who's supposed to be 12 foot tall or plus, 12 plus tall. Very tall dude. Obviously, we don't have anybody that tall, so it made sense to put in Brad Pitt, because Achilles was technically not the big muscle dude. The big muscle dude would be like, for example, Ajax the Greater. That dude was like the big, burly, super tall, massive dude, kind of like the guy who was fighting there. Achilles was known to be slightly shorter than the really big dudes. And so he's a little bit slender, shorter, faster. That's why it made sense to put Brad Pitt in there. I mean, considering the fact we don't have anybody that tall anymore, obviously. And of course, everyone's just going to say it's myth. They don't want to believe it. But here you have Ajax the Great. And what's really interesting about Ajax the Great is that Emperor Hadrian dug up his remains because it was going out to sea. He had a tomb that eventually became almost in the water because of so many thousands of years have passed. And Emperor Hadrian, which I'm trying to remember what year Emperor Hadrian was. It was like 2,000 years ago, I think. Emperor Hadrian. When did he live? Yeah, I'm about right. 76 AD. So he exhumed the body out of the tomb. He had the body removed. They measured it, and it was literally the same as it said in the history books. He was taller than Achilles. I'm wondering if this is the article that has it. Let's see if it's in here. Hadrian. Yeah, here you are. According to Philostratus, the tomb of Ajax was swept out to sea during the time of the Roman Emperor Hadrian. The bones that were recovered and eventually reinterred by Hadrian were of superhuman size, supposedly revealing that Ajax had been 11 cubits or 16.5 feet tall. And from what I understand, he was the tallest giant during that time, so he was taller than Achilles. In both physical beauty and fighting agility, Ajax was second only to his cousin Achilles. In some traditions, Ajax was invulnerable everywhere except for his armpit, similar to Achilles, who is often said to have been invulnerable everywhere except for his heel. Right? So I think Ajax was slightly bigger, slightly more muscular, but not as fast, perhaps, as Achilles, not as good of a fighter. At any rate, the point is that clearly This is probably the worst pick you could ever imagine to play the role of Achilles. Period. I mean, look, can you think of anything worse? I guess we could pull a dwarf out. I don't know. We could pull, I don't know. I guess you could make it worse, but it's not really. Not exactly. This is hilarious. This is so ridiculous what's going on. It's so insane. And we're just getting started. We got a ton to get into in this video. We have what some of the left is saying about this. We're going to get into also this whole thing with the quartering, the channel The Quartering, which I've watched over the years, but he got himself into some serious trouble. I was kind of on the fence with the guy for a long time, but I remember watching him in the old days, 10 years ago. He put out all these, latest news and stuff. Oh my goodness, he apparently got some channel deleted off YouTube, which is a channel I've watched myself before called Kino Casino. And it's going crazy. I'll get into that as well. It's actually really going crazy. And it reminds me of something else that happened in the past. And we're going to get into also what's going on in California. We're going to get into Japan and the UK, insanity in all those countries. First, I'm going to mention Food Supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. Go check it out. 3 months worth, plus the free Mega Protein Kit, $7.97. They also got tons of other options available. All these different types of options for emergency food, as low as $30 up to $3,000 if you want a year's worth, plus the extra bonus stuff. They got all these other things, generators, water filtering, everything. Go check it out. This book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity. You're going to definitely need that. If you have an extended period of time without power, you've seen all the insanity around us, World War III, potentially. You got, and I'm going to cover in my other video, Billy Boy Gates and all the other insanity going on with that. You got the hantavirus now, which it's really curious. I got a lot of stuff to cover over in my other video. We'll get into that. But go check it out if you have not already. We're also getting some movement on X. Got another video over 1 million over there. Or not a video. It was a post. My video didn't get that big. But I'm getting some big posts over there, and it's not the same stuff as you see here on YouTube. So you're going to want to go check it out. You want to check out my membership section. I have stuff over there that's not over here as well. And I'm going to be doing extended interviews and putting the best part over on my website in the futures as well. Not yet. And actually, I finally got my studio going virtually. I got like something over here I got to put in, but let's get back to the video. So we have here this whole thing about Achilles and Nolan totally destroying the story by obviously putting in Elliot, right? You're like, what in the world is going on? Elliot Page, right? So apparently we have here Reddit, and Reddit tends to be more liberal, so it's kind of interesting to see what they would have to say over here. It's possible Nolan knows his cast better than his detractors in ancient Greek mythology. Since childhood, Achilles pretended to be a woman before he'd been outed and fighting as a man. What is he talking about? Maybe he tried to hide himself once wearing a woman's clothes. The dude was 11 cubits tall. The guy was 16 foot tall and an insane fighter. What are you talking about? What are you? Maybe when he was young? Yeah, here we go. When he was 9 years old, foreseeing that it was fated he would perish if he went to war, disguised himself. So apparently he was a chicken when he was younger. That's the entire point. Is it's like a contrast with what he ended up becoming, right? That's what the whole point is of that. Not to say, hey, look, he's a cross-dresser. And then you got here, the Odyssey rumors claim Elliot Page is Achilles. Lupita Nyong'o is Helen of Troy. Helen of Troy, obviously a little bit whiter, as you can imagine. This would be an absolute worst casting for Achilles, and that has nothing to do with Elliot being trans. Short little twig playing one of the greatest Greek warriors, GTFOH. And then, of course, this guy goes, LMAO, good luck with the replies, because it's a lot of liberals that are all about trans probably in here. Yeah, so of course they're going to try to spin it into some weird thing. What are you talking about? You want someone that looks strong or fast, fighter or something like that. You don't want someone who transitioned. It's insane. You have here Lauren Chen talking about this as well. Odyssey adaptation from Christopher Nolan will be releasing in a few months. Of course, they had a race, swap on Helen of Troy. Check this
There's
out.
basically nothing we could say about this. The problem with casting a lot of modern day actresses in these historical epics is that they don't have historical looking faces. Anne Hathaway is a great actress. I think she's beautiful. She has Botox face. So Travis Scott is a rapper. He's in this as well. Yet why are there so many Africans in this Greek epic? Christopher Nolan.
Do they do this all the time? It's very irritating, actually. They did this with so many stories, and it has. I don't need to defend anything. It's just a fact. Look, this is a Greek tale. This is not from Africa. Let's use Greek people or people that look like they could be Greek. It isn't exactly rocket science, okay? Let's use someone that looks strong, not someone who used to be a female, okay? That might be 5'5". This guy was literally 16 foot tall. Okay, what the hell is this crazy stuff? Are you expecting to actually make any money on this movie? Or you just want to burn your money into the ground? I don't know what they're doing. This is absolutely insane. No one's going to watch it. Or they're going to watch it to just laugh or something. I don't know. Here's someone saying this is how Helen of Troy would look. I don't even know if that's the case. She might have looked sort of like that. She might have dressed like that. I don't know if her face would look like that, but maybe. I don't know. But so you got that whole story. You got that whole topic. I don't know what you guys think about it. It's just really disgusting if you ask me. I mean, I'm not going to pay money to watch it. Why the hell would I? I mean, it's not even remotely accurate in any way, shape, or form. Then we got this story here about the channel called The Quartering here on YouTube. I've watched him here and there over the years because he covers a lot of news topics. He'll put out like 3-4 videos a day usually. And of course, recently he was under fire from Kino Casino. Now, Kino Casino, they're just making parodies and jokes about social media influencers, stuff like that. So like they'll talk rumors, they'll kind of exaggerate, they're just talking trash, literally talking trash about people on the internet. That's what they do. Okay, that's literally what they do. And they live stream about it. And I actually watch Kino Casino sometimes too. So I've watched The Quartering and Kino Casino. And Kino Casino apparently got under The Quartering Jeremy's skin a little too much. And The Quartering, it looks like, might have hit their channel and got them deleted off YouTube. Now, The Quartering says he didn't do this, that it's not true. He didn't, flag their channel for copyright or whatever. But they don't buy it. No one seems to be buying it. They think that he's not telling the truth. And then he straight up got another channel deleted off YouTube. And it's blown up into the stratosphere now. I was pretty much ignoring this topic because it just looked like a bunch of internet drama, which is exactly what this is. But it's gotten so ridiculous now that The Quartering just deleted his X account. I'm like, what? Damn, this is getting crazy. So The Quartering just deleted his X account according to Drama Alert. I'm like, whoa, I can't even imagine ever doing that. He had a pretty sizable channel on X. Why would he delete it? I guess he's probably getting ratioed to death or something with his comments. I don't know. He started to build a lot of people hating his guts. And my advice to him is to just say, hey, if you did really do it, just admit you did it. Apologize. Try to make amends in some way, shape, or form. Maybe even pay them for all the loss and try to get their channel back. I'm just giving advice because I'm seeing this and it's not looking good. It's looking bad for The Quartering. It looks like he might be the next Matt Jarbo. Okay, it's not looking good. Okay, it's looking bad. His views are going down also, I noticed, ever since this whole scandal started up. That's not good. Okay, his views are really kind of dying in the last few days. It's not looking good. And is it the last few days? Well, this whole started about a few days ago. It's not, it could be just a bad, couple days, for him, but it's starting to look like it's really starting to turn on him. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. And he just deleted his ex. That ain't good either. That's a really bad sign. And this happened before. This ain't the first time this kind of thing's happened. There's a guy called Matt Jarbo back a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago. I think he called himself Mundane Matt here on YouTube. And you would get like, 20, 30, 40K views a video, 10, or maybe it was lower. Maybe it was like 10 to 30. I don't know what it was. It was something like that way back 10 years ago. He can't even pull 500 views now. And the same thing happened. He literally got someone's channel deleted and then said he never did it. And then eventually he admitted it way after the fact when his account was completely destroyed. So this kind of makes me feel like it's the same thing. I don't know. I don't know if the quartering better pivot here because it's not looking good. It's going up into the stratosphere now. This is like channel killing stratosphere. He's got a big ass channel, but the way it's going, it's not going good. It's for him. If he didn't do it, I would come out and say, hey, look, I don't know what the hell happened. I will pay these guys money. I'll help them get their channel. I kind of feel like he did it though. I really think he did it. And that's what a lot of people are believing. So I'm guessing he did. So you should probably just straight up apologize, try to get their channel back, give them some money for their time off, because they haven't been able to probably make as much money or whatever. And just apologize and say, hey, look, I was a jackass. I'm sorry about it. Even the Metatron's talking about it. The whole situation with the quartering is insane. I get it. Isn't nice when people make hit pieces about you. And they were trash talking the I watched a couple of the live streams. They were trashing them pretty bad. They were trashing them pretty bad. Okay. You make hit pieces, I make hit pieces, so it's fair game. Others will talk shit about you, me, etc. I've had people talk shit about me here on YouTube as well, but not as I haven't had as bad as that as he's gotten. But then again, I haven't done anything probably to deserve it. I don't know. It sounds like he might have done some stuff to deserve it. It does seem like he did. I've had people talk trash about me though in the past. I've been on here for a long time. Deplatforming Kino Casino was the wrong call. You don't do that. What on earth was he thinking? Then you got Mr. Obvious. Mr. Obvious was a big channel here on YouTube. I don't know if he's around anymore on YouTube. As someone who knows the quartering and has dealt with internet hate personally, his actions are not illogical. People seriously underestimate just how much pressure hate creators are under. I've had people try to murder me. Wow. Simply because I had different ideas. Give him a break. Okay, so, bro, what? Do you know how much hate online I got against me for years? That does not give me now the right to be deplatform people, even more so if I'm a conservative. Yeah, so, okay. I feel like it's like you're feeding a monster. The more you attack someone who's talking shit about you, the more power you give them. So what I do is I just don't talk to them at all. I used to make videos back in the old days against them sometimes. And then I used to argue with people in the comments when I used to talk against atheism, because I used to do a lot of videos against atheism. And I get all these atheists that just hated my guts in the comment section, and I would just make jokes. And they would say bad things about me, and I would just laugh because I didn't care. Maybe it's my personality type. I literally didn't give a crap. I was like, I actually laughed at their jokes. They would make a joke about me, and I'd be laughing. They're thinking that they're hurting my feelings. I'm laughing my ass off reading your comments. So for me, maybe it's the best way to do it is just let it roll off your back. Just laugh it off. Who cares? That's probably the way that you should handle it. That's probably the best way with the internet, because the internet's really unforgiving if you start fighting back. You can fight back if they're a small channel, but if they're pretty big, like Kino Casino ain't small. Okay, they're not the small dudes you want to fight with, right? They're sizable, and they can make some pretty loud noise, as you can tell. Anyway, there's that whole topic. I'm hoping the quartering realizes his mistake and just straight up admits he did wrong and just apologizes. I would recommend paying them too for a little while, for the loss, and try to get their channel back or something. At any rate, so then we got Gavin Newsom. We got California. This has been trending. California become the first state in America to provide free diapers to all new parents. Okay. Launching this summer. You know what this is? I mean, a lot of people have been talking garbage about this, and it does sound kind of dumb because Gavin is known for wasting a ton of money, but there is an aspect of you want to promote people having kids. Okay, now of course he has a lot of illegals coming in, so that maybe they're the ones getting all the diapers. That's not good. But I mean, if you're promoting people having kids, that's a different story. I think that's important, especially in America and other places because of our culture. And I think mainly just get rid of the media. The media in our movies are horrible. That would probably solve a lot of it even easier than trying to incentivize people to have kids. Because I think if you fix the media and you put the propaganda the opposite way, where you're like having kids is cool rather than having kids is not cool, then you have a lot of people having kids. So if you like have a pro-kid culture, you don't need to give free money or free diapers to anybody. And so, of course, you got that story. This is insane. I can't even believe this one. I don't even want to read some of the stuff. It's so nasty. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. Okay, it's really ridiculous, the stuff being passed in California. It's just really bad. Now, this one's really interesting. I saw this one here. Gavin Newsom was running for re-election as mayor of San Francisco. He asked his lifelong best friend to represent him for a political function because he was busy. The real reason Newsom couldn't make it is because he was having an affair that night with the same lifelong best friend's wife. So he had his best friend go represent him at a thing. Oh, let's just play it. You'll see what I'm getting at.
Member of the San Francisco City Council. Then he was the chairman of the city council. Then he was the mayor of San Francisco. Then the lieutenant governor of California. Then the governor of California. Okay? So this is a very well thought out plan to move higher, higher, higher and become president. When he was running for governor of California, he asked his lifelong best friend, who was also his campaign manager, to represent him at a political function. The man did. It wasn't because Newsom was busy. It was because Newsom was having an affair with his best friend's wife. And they got caught. What kind of person is that?
That doesn't sound like a person you want to trust. I don't think I want to trust him very much. Yeah, not really. Then we got this clip here, pretty hilarious, about an LA race between Mayor Bass and some of these other candidates that want to replace her. Check this out. They're talking about homelessness. They're talking about how she ran the city of LA and all that. Check this out.
Robin acts like she doesn't have any authority with this homelessness. She was the third most powerful person in city council. She runs the homeless housing thing. She acts like this is just Mayor Bass. First off, inside safe. I like to say inside safe makes all of us outside unsafe. The reality is no matter how many beds you give these people, they are on super meth. They are on fentanyl. The DEA statistic says 93% of this is a drug addiction problem. Nithya, Councilwoman Robin's plan for treatment first, I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's going to offer treatment for. She's going to get stabbed in the neck. These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth. These ideas cost us over $400 million to house for 70, what did you say? 3,000 people for $400 million? This is an absolute failure for both of them. They're a team.
Exactly, dude. 100% failure. Yeah, they're on drugs. And you're just pretending like they're not on drugs. Oh, let's give them free needles. Give them free housing. Just keep throwing money at it. It's going to solve the whole problem. No, it's not going to solve anything. It's going to make it worse. You're giving them free stuff so then they have more money to go buy drugs. Literally. You need to get them off drugs. Okay? That's what you need to do. Not exactly rocket science, of course. Then we got what's going on in Japan. Thousands of Japanese citizens gathered to protest the construction of the first mosque in Fujisawa, Japan, right outside Tokyo. We don't want a single mosque or Muslim cemetery here. Check this out. So we used to point to Japan as a society that didn't have an issue with immigration, didn't have an issue with crime or anything of that sort. But now in the last few years, we've started to see a little bit of that coming into Japan because they have a low birth rate. And again, it comes back to these movies the media promoting the rainbow, not being pro-family. You want your country to exist in the future? Do you want to have kids there and people rather than robots? You might want to have some kids. Maybe you should promote it as a good thing rather than looking at it as a pariah. And this will actually solve the problem in the West. It has everything to do with our social media and what's in the movies and all that. Here you have yet another example in Britain. People are now calling into radio stations telling libtard presenters that they want to be surrounded by British people, not foreigners. Check this out. Let's play this.
You said something that was really morally reprehensible. Now you're kind of trying to act as if you didn't say it, but you did say it. So you could spend the rest of the day thinking about what you said and whether you meant to say it or not.
I do think that the anger driving the reform's popularity is real and understandable. It absolutely is. You know, because I like to go into London and be served by white people. I don't want to be served by... there's a time and place for it, and I do feel that the country needs to be represented in a certain way.
Well, hang on a minute. Wait a second. You like to go into London and be served by white people. Served what? It's where? In a shop? Or what are you talking...
I'll give you an example. You go into Leicester Square right now.
Yes.
You go into any business around you.
I am in Leicester Square. That's exactly... I've just been through it on the way to work. That's exactly where I am. So
you stop off into any store around there and see if the person who serves you, English is their first language.
But why would you care about that? Why would you mind if they're white or not?
What I mean is this, right? What is the capital of England?
We know the answer. Don't ask me questions.
You don't seem to know the answer because you're not answering it. It's supposed to be London, and it's supposed to represent your country. The reason why she is going on a rampage of anger against this disgusting British man is because she believes in her religion that being mean or not accepting all the immigrants into your country is morally wrong. You're an evil person because you want your country to be what you are, while every other country can do that. And it's not wrong for them, but it's wrong for you because you're the West and you're supposed to allow it. See how that works? That's because that's what the media programs you to think. And who owns the media? And why are they doing it? Because they don't like you and I. And they want less of us. And they want you to accept it and embrace it. Embrace the rainbow. Embrace the idea of just being a selfish person. Never raise a family. Don't care about your country. It doesn't matter. This is what she wants. And she gets morally outraged because of her wokeism.
One question. It's very basic. What difference does it make?
It does make a massive difference if you don't exist in 30 years because you don't have any kids and your culture dies with you. Oh, but our culture sucks. That's what they told you, and you believed it in your wokeism religion there. That's exactly what's going on. At any rate, that's my video. I'm kind of wondering what some of you guys think about all this. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.